if you're like me, staying on top of the latest tech developments is a top priority. But sifting through a ton of information can be a real time suck.
Absolutely.
So here on the podcast de Philippe, we like to you do these deep dives into really specific topics. And today, we're tackling the new AI-powered smart search feature that just rolled out in Gmail.
Right.
We'll be figuring out how this thing actually works and, more importantly, what it means for your privacy as a Gmail user. Is this a good thing? Bad thing? We'll be digging into recent reports and hopefully giving you a clearer picture by the end of this. Oh, and by the way, if you find this deep dive helpful, hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers today. Any help would be amazing.
Yeah. So this smart search thing in Gmail, it's not just a small tweak. It really shakes up how the whole search system works.
Okay.
You know how normally you search and you get results just based on like keywords and the newest emails show up first?
Yeah.
Well, now with the AI, it tries to figure out what's actually most relevant to you. It looks at things like how recent the emails are, sure, but also which ones you've clicked on a lot in the past and who you're always emailing back and forth with.
So it's like if I'm searching for info about that project I'm working on with, let's say, Sarah, who I email like 10 times a day, Gmail will prioritize showing me those emails, even if they're not the absolute newest ones with those keywords.
Exactly.
Interesting. And this is live right now for everyone using Gmail.
Well, for now, it's just for personal Gmail accounts. So like the ones you use for your personal stuff.
Right.
It works on, the website, the web version, and also on Android and iOS. But Google said they're thinking about bringing it to business accounts later on.
Makes sense.
And don't worry, you can still choose to see results in the old way, by date. The option's still there.
Oh, that's good. I could see that being useful sometimes. But, this whole personalization thing, it makes you wonder what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, and that's the interesting part, isn't it? Gmail is basically watching what you click on, which emails you open. And they're using that to figure out what you like and what you don't like.
So it's not just about improving search results, right? This data feeds into the whole Gmail experience, making it, I guess, more tailored to each person.
Right.
So maybe some emails get bumped up in your inbox or the suggested replies get smarter?
Yeah, and think about it. This data is also used to train Google's AI, right? So it could lead to even better automated responses in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, those emails with buttons built in like confirm or approve. Google's tracking those clicks too. Maybe they're thinking about automating some of those tasks eventually. It's all about making Gmail work better for you. That's what they say.
Sure, but there's always that balance between convenience and, how much information they're gathering about us.
Absolutely.
So this kind of brings me to the question of control. As a user, how much say do I actually have in all this personalization?
Right. And it's not like you're completely powerless.
Okay, great.
There used to be this feature, Search Wiki, I think it was called, where you could actually tweak your search results a bit.
Oh, interesting.
I'm not sure if it's still around in the same way, but the idea was to give you some control. And even without that specific feature, you can still use specific search operators.
Yeah.
Like from or to or even has dot attachment.
Right.
That way you can get really specific results without relying on the AI to figure it out.
Guess that makes sense if you need something very particular.
Yeah, and don't forget to check your Gmail settings. There might be some options there to adjust or even completely turn off certain parts of this personalization.
Good point. I'll have to take a look at that. But, let's be real. The big elephant in the room here is privacy.
Oh, yeah.
Google's now tracking every single click in your inbox, who you're emailing, everything. This goes way beyond just looking at the keywords in your emails. It's getting pretty deep into your behavior.
And you have to think about how this fits in with everything else Google already knows about us. Our account info, IP address, location, even what we search for on Google.
Right. It's a lot of data.
And even though they say this specific data from Gmail isn't being used for ads, it's still part of their massive data collection system. It all adds up.
And it's not like they have a spotless record when it comes to privacy, right?
Yeah, really. There have been those cases where third-party developers got access to people's inboxes.
Yeah.
And even though that's not directly related to this new AI feature, it just shows you that there are always concerns about how secure our data is.
Right. So how do you think people are reacting to all of this?
Well, I think it's a mixed bag. Some people are probably going to love the convenience. Finding the exact email you need in seconds. Imagine not having to scroll through hundreds of irrelevant messages.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
But then there are others who are going to be really creeped out by this level of tracking. Like Google knowing not just what's in your emails, but how you interact with them. That's going to raise some red flags for sure.
Definitely. And I've actually seen some comments online from people who said they closed their Gmail accounts because of these privacy worries.
Yeah, it's a tough trade-off, convenience versus privacy. And for a lot of people, especially those who use Android, it's not easy to just ditch Gmail altogether.
Right, because you need a Gmail account for the Play Store and all that.
Exactly. So they're kind of stuck in this situation where they might not be comfortable with the data collection, but they don't have much choice.
That's a good point. So to kind of sum things up, this new AI-powered search in Gmail is basically using your activity to try and make search faster and more relevant.
Right.
It might be a good thing for some people, but it definitely comes with some big privacy questions.
Yeah. And it's really up to each individual to decide what's more important to them, the convenience or the privacy.
And that's really what we wanted to get across in this deep dive. I want to give you the information so you can make an informed decision.
Absolutely. So as you're using Gmail, think about how comfortable you are with this level of tracking. Is it worth it to you?
That's the big question. And if you're not sure, take some time to explore your Gmail settings. See what options you have for controlling how your data is used.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, it's all about having control over your own digital life.
Well said. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See you later.